Hi, it's Lynn Rose, CEO of WOW Now, and welcome to WOWUTALKS. And this is where we shine a spotlight on what we call wow makers. Those are leaders who are change makers, who are using their life, their business, their purpose in order to drive impact and shining a light on what's possible for you. And boy, do we have an extraordinary guest that I'm so excited to introduce you to. This is Dr. Erica Miller, and and she is not just a survivor, she's a thriver, an adventurer, and a trailblazer. She shows us that no matter where you come from or what you face, you have the power to live boldly, dream fearlessly, and inspire endlessly. And if Erica can do it, so can you. And so let me just say a little bit about Erica, and then we're going to dive into her world. She may look like she's 70-ish, maybe a little younger, maybe a little bit older. She's 91 years old.
Young.
91 years young. And she is a Holocaust survivor. She was in the Israeli Air Force, and we're going to hear some about that. She is a successful businesswoman. She is a doctor, Dr. Erica Miller, because she got her PhD in psychotherapy.
In clinical psychology.
Clinical psychology. Thank you very much. She's a best-selling author, and the list goes on. And I call her my spirit animal. So
I like it.
Yes. So I want to just welcome you so much, Erica, Dr. Erica, but I can call you Erica as we speak.
You
yes?
can. We're not, officially, I'm Dr. Miller, but you can call me anything you want.
Okay.
It's all right. As long as, I get the title, I earned it.
Okay.
8 years it took me.
Yes,
okay.
she did. So to know Dr. Erica Miller, and I'll call her Erica for now. You can call her Dr. Miller or whatever you feel. But to know Dr. Erica Miller is to just have a marvel at what's possible in life. And so let's dive inside your world. So we kind of gave a little bit of a broad stroke about your past and your journey. And what she's now doing is speaking around the world for companies and organizations, spreading the word of guts, grit, and gusto. And that if she can do it, you can do it. And also speaking to businesses and leaders and helping them understand vision, strategy, and commitment. So we're going to cover some of that here along with her remarkable story. So maybe you can take us back to where this all began, because anyone would look at someone as a Holocaust survivor. How did you not just completely shut down or carry with you bitterness or whatever? Instead, this vitality, what you've created, or maybe because of. But tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay, you just said it, because of. I am who I am today because of what I went through. Nobody should go through what I did as a little kid, 7-year-old. Everything was fine and normal, and out of nowhere, mayhem happens. And when they grown up, they don't, I said, Mama, what is happening in German? That's my mother tongue, in Romania. And nobody tells me nothing. Shut up, don't talk so much. So that absolutely out of control. And being 4 years, 4 years, if somebody saw Schindler's List, I was on the train station.
7 to 11.
4 years is an eternity. And I was not a baby, I was already 7 years old. But again, trauma, I don't remember much. I remember when we were pushed into the train cattle, and we didn't know where we were going to go. And we are speaking about resilience. And I don't brag, I just share. Here, pushed in that cattle train, all those people, I barely could breathe. And the people were screaming and crying, lost, Yankel, Magel, where are you? And for me to be in the corner, and I was safe because the Germans came with the stick and hitting in front, so at least I was safe in the back there. In order to comfort myself, I kept on starting to sing to myself like the noise of the train. Ta 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 ta. Schmutzige Juden, because I heard dirty Jews in German, schmutzige Juden. So I sang to myself, schmutzige Juden, ta ta ta. I comforted myself. Nobody could comfort me. And so now when I'm in a little bit of, when something is not all right, that little kid me, that I was the grown-up when I was 7, I come to meet the grown-up, the adult. So I repeat myself. I would not be the person today, because if not, I would not have gone through that kind of thing. And you know what? When I say lucky to be me, I mean it. Because my mother and my 5-year-older sister, Judy, they were beaten down all their life.
Wow.
My sister did not even finish high school. She absolutely, her kids and her husband, no respect. And me, just the opposite. Don't tell me I cannot do it. So that was my team always. So when I was swimming with the boys in the mud, when the girls were watching, it's like, if the boys can do it, I'm the son my father never had. And the story says that he was very upset because my sister
You're
wanted
the son
a
your
boy.
father never had.
So I am absolutely. So again, that's how when I came to Israel, I was lucky to come to Israel, liberate from Romania wouldn't let us out, and it was a new country. And for me to have to look over my shoulder, it was a Catholic country, and scared because I was Jewish. And going in the 5th grade, really interesting. This teacher was asking, something Newton theory, Newton, whatever. I knew the answer. And now comes that guts, grit, and gusto, that is my theme, courage, perseverance, and being grateful to be alive. She asked in the class, I looked around, is there anybody else that does not make a cross? I was the only one. So when she asked, is there anybody can solve this problem, Newton theory or something or other, I knew the answer. Somebody had to teach me in the camp. They were professors.
Oh, wow.
I never went to school, so reading and writing and math and physics, obviously somebody taught me. So I knew the answer, but I said, okay, talking to myself, I was then at 11 and a half. Do I take the risk to go and solve the problem, and then I could be clobbered, assaulted by my colleagues, jealous? Or am I sitting quietly so that nothing happens? And obviously, you know me a little bit now, I just took the risk. I had guts. I went to the board and I filled out the formula. And she with the stick, the teacher with the ponytail, looked there with the stick. Look at this little Jewish girl. She barely speaks our language. It was Romanian. My mother tongue is German. And she knows it. What's the matter with the rest of you guys? Cut. That's all I remember.
Wow.
So then coming to Israel, when after you're 17 and a half, just like boys, you have to go to the armed forces. I had 3 girlfriends. They all got married. I saw they were such traitors. So I went into and I said, I'm going to go in the Air Force because I like the blue uniform. How do you think you're going to get in? It's such an elite. I said, well, watch me. I am in La La Land. I'm delusional. I think if I want something, I make it happen. And guess what? Because of my education and the high school education, whatever, I was in charge in the north. It's private. It's under the cloud. Nobody knows it. I'm not saying where we were. It was a pilot school. And Ezer Weizmann, he was a president of Israel. He was my commander-in-chief. And I had such a crush over him because he was tall and handsome. When he died a few years ago, I looked at him. He was only about 5 years older. But when you are 17 and he was in his 20s. So just being, tough, little but mighty. So it was absolutely amazing. Don't tell me I cannot do it. And then my friends were very jealous of me. They had already their babies. And I then, because I spoke English, I had the job in the Israeli government tourist information office, and I could sew clothes because they didn't have any stores like they have here to the tailor, whatever. So I had a life of absolutely amazing, and I met all those tourists. And they gave me, especially from America, because the British have a very different accent. It was hard for me to understand. So they couldn't give you gifts, but they could leave cigarettes, canned cigarettes. So I blame the American tourists because I got addicted to smoking cigarettes, okay? And then it took me a while, whatever. So then Destiny had it. I had vacation. I went all by myself. I was an old maid of 24, 25. And my mother, she was nobody, I'm never going to marry because the men of those age, they didn't have any education. I was too smart. And I did not care. I didn't want to get married. Why bother? Because my first boyfriend in the Air Force, Aaron, unfortunately, he was shot down after 6 months of relationship. So my first love I lost. That reinforced. Never mind all those dead people that I saw in camp when I looked out the little window. And I wanted to, if I die, I want to pose. I'm still posing. But that reinforced that I have to rely on me only. So, but then again, that's when I was all over Europe visiting other Israeli offices. And then I came to Los Angeles to stay a little bit with my sister. She, meantime, they went and they lived in Los Angeles with her husband.
Now, I have to stop for just a moment because there's so much we just covered already in what you just shared, and I just want to unpack some of that and then jump ahead to Los Angeles.
Please.
But hopefully you're tracking the power of what you're sharing is that our circumstances that may happen, we can either choose to have it shut us down or get bitter, or we can choose to use it as fuel on how we're going to show up.
Just opposite.
Even in the camp and how she showed up, even in the situation where she was the only Jewish girl in the classroom, right? And all the other ways, and even what happened with your love. And yet you said, I'm relying on myself, but you did not let that hold you back, bring you down. You said guts, grit, gust, or at least you maybe didn't say it then, but that's what led you. And I want to share, because this is a really important point. We didn't even get to cover this. So imagine, before she was even 7, before she got put onto that train, while they were trying to hide from being found, because however many years, I don't know how long it was, that then you were trying to go in hiding so that you wouldn't be
transported in nowhere. Nobody knew where. They just knew that they came. You have to just go. They shot. See, we were hiding.
And I just want to say one thing about where I'm going with this, and then I want you to share all of this because this is like history. We're getting to hear firsthand from what you have lived, and then what you've shown is possible beyond it. So she was sharing with me that they're hiding, and she's a 4-year-old girl, and they're like trying to put the hand over her mouth, no, shh, and constantly keep her quiet, And so, if anything, she also could have taken that at 4 years old, like, I can't speak out, I can't speak up, I can't show up, but that did not define her.
Look at me now.
Look at her now. Now you can't shut her up.
You cannot shut me up.
Yes. So I'm just giving that contrast to understand if she can do it, you can do it. But so say a little bit more about that time as you were about to share about that, because it's fascinating to hear.
Which time? Because like I said, there's so much history. And by me sharing it, not bragging, although I always say I share, don't brag, the possibilities in life are absolutely priceless. And life doesn't owe us anything. I don't know why I'm born. I don't know why I'm here. We'll never know. I want to live forever. But I know better, and it sucks because it's so interesting. So meantime, life is an adventure, and how we live it with purpose, with passion, with gut, with grit. There's no failure. All those things that I follow my heart with, that I'm an example that possibilities are there. Because it's easy to be scared. Remember, part of our DNA is when in doubt, freak. But they're not our ancestors. Our ancestors, they had to protect our tribe from other tribes to not be taken over, or from the bear. So by the way, if you're a night person, you had a shift in your ancestor at night, because we all have different clocks that we wear. But here we're not, and people are so stuck, so many in the past, and afraid of what if. I get it, but I am so defiant, and I lived my life accordingly. I still do. I will never stop being in the process of evolving new things. What else? This is an adventure. Sharing my stage with you. You are tall and beautiful. I'm beautiful too, but I'm short. I have issues. Shame on me. My husband had to be tall, almost 6 foot, because I didn't want to have short little kids. Shame on me. And all my grandkids, my kids and my grandkids, 6 foot, they're all tall. You should see my picture, the family picture. I'm a little shorty. I have to look up at them. No, they look up at me because I'm the coolest Bobby, old lady. So the possibilities are endless, and we will never know how come? What is it all about, Alfie? I don't need to know. I had really issues with concept of God. Because again, in the camp, I didn't listen to my mother, all that kind of thing. And she said, God will punish you. I said, what God? And again, she was absolutely very afraid because I was really stubborn. I could not fathom if there's a God. And then later in life, I said, if I would believe in Jesus, if there would be between me and the deity, Jesus, then I could get it. But I don't. And then I found out that Jesus was my cousin. And I knew him before all of you Christians knew him. So I'm very safe right now. And if destiny, in over the years, because my life is so full, I'm high on life, look at me. I'm like my daughter says, we go to concert, Mick Jagger, you should see him. He's an old man, he's very ugly. He should have something to do with his face. I'm so sorry. No, but he's absolutely amazing how he moves. He used to be on drugs. I hope he's not any longer. No. I am not on drugs. I'm just high on life that I'm still here. So I'm so sorry about people, what they go through. I don't mean that I don't care. I've been there. My own house in Hidden Hills, high end, about 18 years ago, it burned down to the ground. Everybody, the helicopters, was just a shortage, whatever. So I know what it means to lose everything. I didn't care as a refugee. My husband, he was devastated, his pictures and whatever. So my point being, you never know. Shit happens and good stuff happens. And to me, to have the vision, what's happening here with me and you, I know my last chapter in life, I wanted to know how long can I live to continue my life. And those people that live long and well, I researched and I wrote my third book. I have 3 books. The third book is chronologically gifted, Living Long and Well till 123, because somebody benevolent from France, she lived till 122 and 164 days. That's a fact. Google it. So when she can live, I can live till 123 and be a Book of Guinness. I'm a show-off. Look at me. I'm Jewish, but I'm not ugly, and I'm not, whatever. So I have that defines things in me. So when I walked up on Machu Picchu, 11,000 feet, and I went on Mount Everest.
When she was in her 80s. Now, by the way, we're like, you can see there's just such an abundance here that we're sharing, and we want to get as well to now this around time of life, but still let's back it up just a little bit to when you came to LA, because we don't have to go into depth about it, but to understand, you already get the journey. Here she was trying to hide from back in the time of the Holocaust, then was in the camp, somehow, thank God, survived and got out. And all whatever horrors, though, that she saw in that process.
Plus initiated, yellow fever, TB. I don't get sick. I'm an animal, no glasses, no hearing aids, because all the diseases I had when I was in that camp, we all were initiated, but we had gift of life, my parents and me. So, yeah.
And that's a great metaphor about the fact that you actually had those diseases or those issues. That's why they say to kids, get in the dirt, get your hands dirty, go ahead and play in the trees, play hard, go ahead and hurt yourself, because you will learn, you'll grow, it'll give you that strength. And boy, did that give you strength, both physically and then, of course, just spirit. But what I love and what we heard is that then you came out to LA from everything that you were kind of sharing us. And I'm just going to touch on the points about she then created a successful business.
Okay, I'm taking it away from you.
You go, you go.
Okay.
I was going to be quiet because...
All right. The sadness and the mayhem, the contorted faces of especially this one woman. We were about 20 bodies like this, everybody a little family, just like monkeys in Bali. I'm into monkeys. I've been in Bali and all the places. She was wailing. Her contorted face never left me. It's still here. I did not know it then, but I knew someday I wanted to heal her. And when I was in Israel, after I was through with the Air Force, I wanted to become a doctor. I wanted to become a healer. The only medical school was in Jerusalem. There's no way. Okay, we're speaking about vision, strategy, commitment, timing is really important. So when I came here, I got married. He was a good guy. It was not like, oh my gosh, like I had with Aaron. But again, he was tall, he was smart, he was adventurous, he was all kind of things, funny and all that kind of thing. I got married. I had 2 kids. When my son, John, it was first grade, I decided now it's safe. I'm going to go back to school and get my degree. I'm going to become not an MD, PhD, because MD takes longer. So I said, Jerry, in meantime, I worked as I taught school and all that kind of thing. So I said, Jerry, I'm going to go back to school. In my days, I was 38. In my days, the women, I was a wife. I was a mother. That's what you're supposed to be. That's what he expected me to be. An extension of him, just like my mother was with my father. That was the era. Now there are more opportunities. Tradition is still very strong. There's still some friends of my kids that my husband doesn't let me. I don't know what that means all about. There's still. So I said, Jerry, I'm going to go back to school. He said, sure, why not? And then later he told me, he thought he could be more president of the United States than me getting a PhD. So my point being is 8 years later, nonstop, I got my BA, in CSUN, whatever, then School of Professional Psychology. 8 years later, I got my PhD in clinical psychology. And then my husband, he was an entrepreneur, real estate. He was a teacher, but in summer, he bought a house, he took out money, he bought a duplex. Now we have this big, family business, a real estate in Austin, Texas. We have about 280 units. We have 12 buildings. And yeah, I'm the big shot CEO. But my daughter now, she's kind of running it. It's kind of issues, but it runs wonderful. So yeah, so I said, I'm going to go back to school. And it was a really challenge. If he would have said, I didn't bargain for you, everybody said, poor Jerry, because it was at night. I cooked on Sunday. I cooked to have meals for them. They threw it away, and then they went to McDonald's. Whatever it is, and there was really sabotage because I was very strict. I'm from Europe, and he was in America from Independence, Missouri. So they got everything. He was the prince and I was the witch. So 8 years later, nonstop, I got my PhD, and then because of his skills, we opened up, it was 6 or 8 mental health clinics, neuropsychological centers. And for 40 years, I ran it. It was in Tarzana, the head office, West LA, Torrance, Whittier, Orange County, San Diego, in Catalina. So I had 20 psychologists and psychiatrists working for me. And I tell you, if thoughts could kill, I would be dead. Because I am a work ethic, so the therapists that work for me, when they saw me, I wanted to make sure that they give the patient 50 minutes and not hugging, not being too friendly, and not just talking and go over time somebody else. I have really very strict work orders. So it's like how they dress, I'm in charge. So my point being is, not just my life, but we had a portion of diversion intervention. We worked with the courts, drug and alcohol, sexual abuse, domestic violence. So we got a lot of patients that drug and alcohol diversion intervention was a portion. And all my counselors, there were about 12 of them, they all came from jail. They were incarcerated because of their drug, not that they were bad people.
Oh, wow.
And there's a whole issue now speaking about, do we really need to, those people that are not violent because of drugs and all that. So my point being is, not only my life, but I lived through, I was counseling couples and all that kind of thing, overseeing a business. So I'm a business person. I know there is no failure. So when I speak in front of business people, like I did, they're international entrepreneur, international entrepreneur business people, young people in their 50s. I spoke in Houston, and they recommended, then I went to New York. And me just, you know what? I know what you're doing. I'm so proud of you, because most people do not take a chance. It's scary. But you are entrepreneurs. You have got great gusto, and there's no failure. If something doesn't work, because startups are a challenge, then you pick yourself up and do something else. I got that from the Israeli, there's no failure. Little kind of Moshe looks in the television, they beat them down, they come up again, and then he moves forward. Israelis, they had to be. So they're really big entrepreneurs, but startups happen there, it's like crazy because there's no failure. So I emulated whatever, so I would not be the person today that, if not all my experiences. and the gift that keeps on giving. My life will never be over. So when I'm here with you, because I realize, yeah, my publicist, she's a good person, but Trade Press Services, she has a big, she works with lawyers, immigration. I was a sidekick. But I'm so aware that my time is now. I'm 91, look at me, crazy man. There's nothing I cannot do today that I did not 50 years ago. Yeah, I have sexual fantasies, and I'm not going to go there, okay? My point, I'm so alive, but I know it's not forever. It's my last chapter. I see my tombstone, by the way, and you saw it. I have a casket. I know it kind of spooked people. I have a casket in my home with me, with the painter like this, and the dress and the boots. I'm a food girl. I think it makes me feel taller. And so I have a casket ready. So when my husband died, I bought a casket as well to be ready. It's not if, it's when. So I'm so in the moment. Because, yeah, I have a vision that I will be living to 123 or more, 124. I'm a trailblazer. My kids and grandkids, they all like to be around me. Their friends think that I'm absolutely amazing. All the attention I'm getting when I hear my granddaughter, she just had the baby, 9-month-old Joey. Now, 4th generation, me, my daughter, my granddaughter Joey, she said she's going to be just like me. Who gets that?
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's like process of evolving forever. And I'm so grateful to be here with you because, again, my point is my time is now. A whole chapter, a lot of things can happen in 25, 30 more years. And I continue my lifestyle, and so the possibility is there, and I could be a corpse tomorrow. And nothing I can do about it.
Yes, and this is just, there was a lot there again that we just heard, but I want to just share. She mentioned about the attitude, the feeling about death, a beautiful death, which is going to be the name of the movie, but we'll get to there. 1 second, I want to unpack what we just said. So when you go to her home, you can experience the vibrancy here of Dr. Erica Miller. And when you go into her home, it is like no other. Every little area has been completely just filled with creativity from the walls and these special paintings. And we won't talk through the whole thing without the home, but I just want to touch on that. And the textured walls and everywhere that she has treasures, and it is this beautiful place. And she has her own gym that she works out an hour and a half a day, which is part of her vitality.
Forever,
she was leading us through exercise earlier.
I will never stop.
Exactly, right? And she talked about the casket because the way she looks at it, she's not afraid of death. Even though she's saying, I'm going to live to 123, I'm going to be vital, I'm going to be in the Guinness World Book of Records, the first one to hit that, but she celebrates it. She lives with what is. She takes responsibility, as you heard very well with what she was sharing, and lives life by her own design. And I love, too, that you say no failure, because part of being a business, or like you said, a startup, you're going to run into some issues, but you don't get stuck and something didn't work. You just go pivot. What do you need to do to make it work?
Okay, and I'm going to stop you. I usually do this, forgive me, because to me, death gives meaning to life.
Death gives meaning to life.
So when my daughter or somebody says, oh my gosh, you have a casket, no one's going to come to your house. I said, I'm an educator. It's not if, it's when. I surrender to destiny, but to me, because I'm still here. I cannot believe my good fortune. Because we're here a moment, it sucks. I want to be living forever, and I know better. And now, again, I'm the poster child for aging well, not just living long, living well. So self-care is very important, very important, because caretakers don't take care of themselves. I've always known that she's so selfish. My poor husband, he used to get, you know what, she leaves you home in the evening with the kids and all that kind of, Again, I was important that I knew if I were not to pursue it, the time was right, I have a depressed part of me. I'm not bipolar, maybe I'm a little bit. It's all a matter of a continuum. I knew if I would not follow my heart because I was safe and it was possible, I needed a passion. I needed to heal that contorted woman. I need to make a difference, and I'm not a saint. So to me, to be out there, out and about, by the way, I was on Crystal Cruise, and I was 4 nights for 10 days in Europe. They didn't have enough of me, and they followed me like crazy, 400 people. I was I was speaking with the FBI at Sacramento. What do you talk to FBI people? I said, okay, I have to be creative, depending who the audience is. Okay, it is a trauma, they know what that is all about, FBI, resilience, whatever, and self-care. Guess what? They knew about trauma and resilience, not self-care. So when I was there with them, about 40, 50, those handsome, tall, here I go again, shame on me. Here are those handsome women and men, and when they wouldn't let me go. So in the corner, this woman, you remind me of her, tall and beautiful, dressed up like a, like an officer. She said, oh my gosh, I wish I would have met you 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So I say to her, bullshit, you met me now. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life. You come first. Everybody matters, but so do you. And then I'm not going to say his name. He's the chief from Sacramento. It was a few years ago, maybe he's still there. He took me in the corner too. He says, you changed my life practically. Tomorrow starting, I'll pay more attention to my family.
Beautiful.
So I make a difference. There's a reason why I'm here. I did not know about God. I kind of skeptic, and then I felt destiny. If God is destiny, I believe in God, poof. I don't know, I will never know exactly, but now I call it divine intervention. And those houses that are burned in Palisades, and a few stay intact.
And everywhere else, yeah.
Everywhere, but some stays like, when I lived in West Hills, around Hidden Hills, and the desert, I don't know, years ago, 50 years ago, it burned the whole neighborhood. No, earthquake.
Oh, earthquake,
that big earthquake, all the things. We were the only house standing.
Wow.
Like the angel of death. We have a mezuzah, the Jewish people. So my point, we will never know, we'll never understand. I don't need to, I don't care. I know we're all similar. I'm a citizen of the world. I don't brag, I share. I've been in 103 countries. I just came back from Costa Rica in the woods with the monkeys and the crocodiles. And, and I continue, I will never stop till I can. So life is an amazing adventure, and I'm in it. So for me to be here and sharing with the audience, I need to be heard more, because if I can do it, so can you. People keep themselves hostage. What if you're dead in a second? Young people die too. So courage, gut, grit, and gusto means it takes courage. Yeah, you can hide yourself. Some people cannot help it, and they don't seek out help. They're afraid to get out of the house. They're afraid to go on a plane. Yes, it can crash, but we cannot live that way. So I'm an adventurer, and I will never stop. So for me to skydive and to jump out of a plane with my grandkids, and for me to be such a big shot, I get all that admiration from young people like you, probably all you that listen to me. I want to make a difference in your life, because the divine intervention wants me still here, and I have good 30 more years. And on my tombstone, I already have it in my casket. I have many titles: a wife, a mother, a doctor, an author. I want a Bobby. My grandkids call me Babushka, old lady. So I want on my tombstone, I wrote in, I'm a control freak, lived with God's, Erica Miller, PhD, let's not forget a PhD, lived with God's grit and gusto from 1933 to 2053, okay? Oh, wow. Even that, so many times I'm all in the moment. So when my second book for students, don't tell me I cannot do it. Live audaciously in the here and now. I practice what I preach.
Yes, she practices what she preaches. You can tell it's through every fiber of your being, every cell of your being. And think about it. I just was inspired by what you shared, because you faced death at a level you can't imagine when you were young. You faced it when you lost your love. You faced it in other ways, almost with the fire. And then you faced death in embracing it, by having the casket going, when it happens, it happens. And as a result, this is what I'm picking up on, and maybe you are too, every second of your life, you want to live with guts, grit, and gusto. You want to live and play full out, because we don't know what's going to happen or when. And we need to not be afraid of death or afraid of anything. We embrace it, we face it, and we live, as you said, audaciously.
And by the way, it's never too late. Don't give me that. I'm too old. Too old for what? Now, you have to have that. It's a decision, attitude. Whatever you're doing right now, I don't mean to start flying with your wings, okay? That's unrealistic. But having a vision, strategy, commitment, and outcome. Go outrageous. Think of something that you would like to do and you're too scared, whatever. And you don't have to do nothing. You just have to have the vision. It's safe. But get out of your comfort zone. Because again, you're going to die anyways. And it's already, they say, whoever they are, that our time of death is already predestined. I could have died, never mind in the camp, on the freeway. So again, have that kind of vision, strategy, whatever. Be adventurous, because life is an adventure, and you are scared something new, I get it. But again, don't be the hostage to your own life, because life is an adventure, can be, and most people, they can, oh, what if they, I'm too old. Again, I'm an example. What am I too old for? Yeah, I don't advocate. 2 years ago, I jumped out from a plane with my granddaughter in Auckland, New Zealand. Bobby, I'm going to fly. I always wanted to jump out of a plane. I said, oh, if you can do it, I can do it. No, what if something happens to you? Well, what a way to exit the world. It won't be your fault. So I actually paid about $30 or something for somebody, it's on my website, somebody to follow me to show how I jumped out of the plane. But again, it's like, I don't advocate that, but I'm saying that it's like, life doesn't owe us anything, and we don't know when, death, yeah, most people shouldn't have experienced what I did as a little kid. But yeah, we are here, I don't know why, it doesn't matter, we're born to die when you think about it. It sucks, but meantime, look at the adventure. And we need to, the caretaker, we need to be open, so we flock into us, just like on the boat, what was in the Bible. In the Bible.
Oh, the ark? No.
The ark, that, Noah and the ark. Animals, they get together, all that kind of thing. So we try to, because I miss my partner, I miss my husband, he was a good guy, and but again, it is like, maybe life has been very generous to me. I'm so open. I miss male companionship. I miss to cuddle. I miss.
Aww.
But again, if not, I'm not going to sit and wait, because there's no way. In 91, you're not going to go on the internet. Who would like, I'm not 91 in chronological, but biologically, I'm alive like crazy. I have another 20 years. People get divorced after 3 years. But my point is the possibilities are endless if one is open. And it does take courage and resilience. You don't just get it. You hear my golden voice, take me with you. Just look at the opportunity. Just think about tonight before you go fall asleep. What can I do that I've not done yet? If she can do it, maybe I can do it. Maybe I shouldn't be afraid. It's all right to be afraid. Don't walk on the freeway, okay? But again, other than that, be adventurous, because you can. You are the captain of your boat of life. You can I introduce new things to me all the time. Yeah, in my home, I have a garden. I do plants. Always to keep me stimulated. I read about 10 magazines a week. They come, astrology, and technology, and IT, and discovery, and psychology, and economy, so that I keep on being informed. I can talk, I can fake it, I can take almost any subject, just a little bit. Because again, I used to be not around women, they used to be bored. The only thing they used to talk to my peers about their husband and the kids. I hung out with the guys because I was one of them. So my point being, life is an amazing journey. I repeat myself, but I'm an elder. Whenever it's convenient, I'm an elder. So I'm just lucky to be here with you.
We are so lucky to be with you and hear your spirit and hear the example of what's possible. Because anyone else might look and hear that and go, no way, how could that happen? Or how can she be 91 and have all this vitality and nothing needed with the eyes or the ears? This is possible when you live with that guts, grit, and gusto.
And
what a perfect line.
Self-care. Really important.
Which she truly takes care of. And love for her family, embracing the moment, being bold. So many messages wrapped in the stories that you shared and things that you said here. You might want to watch this one again and really absorb the energy of Dr. Erica Miller.
And by the way, one more thing. I'm not in La La Land, all right? Because again, like I said, you know what? It can happen. It's not always somebody else. Look what's happening with the burnt houses. I'm so glad that mine, although I was evacuated or whatever. So it's not that I do not feel, but not what I cannot do it. What can I do? That is my message out to my family, to people that listen. It's like, you know what, we cannot fix the world, although being part of it. People that live long and well, yeah, eating well, faith is very important. We have a God particle. Faith, even if you think you don't believe, they're still there. But we're speaking about something more than you. To be engaged in the community like you are. By giving, we get. And like I said, I'm involved in organizations that are important to me, very important. So I like to make money so I can share it with my grandkids. And I'm really smart. And my kids and my grands, they want to be just like me. Whatever my income is from Austin, whatever, I share. College, I paid for, I share down payment to house, whatever. Because again, I'm right now here. And they want to be like me. If I wouldn't have it, they would do it for me. So it's like being alive and being involved, engaged, having a reason to get up in the morning, purpose and passion. That was not just living long and well, just like me. Do you hear me? If I can do it, you can do it.
She can do it, you can do it. Take these messages and implement in your life that fits for you, but to recognize what's possible. And you definitely define wow maker. Someone who takes life and eats it up and steps out and making a difference in so many ways, and here to share your wisdom. And so she's also speaking to organizations and companies and all around the world, and certainly spread the word, because now while we've got Dr. Erica Miller, you want to have her spreading her wisdom as well. Or check out her books. Go to her site, Dr. Erica Miller.
Can I share one more thing?
It's drericamiller.com.
Right. Can I share one more thing? And then
one more thing.
And then I'll shut up. I was a guest speaker in Crystal, and the captain of the entertainment, he really saw that I'm catch me out, whatever. So he said, I told my mother about you. She's a psychic astrologer in Laguna Beach. When you go back home, you must go and visit her, okay? So my publicist took me, because I don't drive far away. I'm a big shot. I'm an aristocrat, right? So I come into her room, and the first thing she says, oh my gosh, you are a goddess. You've been here for a million of years. You spread advice all over the place. I don't know. Again, I'm a little bit skeptic with all this. But yeah, you don't learn wisdom in school. I'm telling you, I have such, in a tarot card reader in New Orleans told me once, this is my 9th life. You know what, again, wisdom you don't learn. So I feel, not that I brag, but sometimes I wish I would be wrong, because I can predict as a psychologist and as my wisdom, my Jill pool, my poon, my gene pool, I can predict. So it's like, yeah, maybe it's my 9th life. I don't know, I don't care. But if I can uplift, if I can spread some positive, you are what you think you are. And I think I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty cute. For a 91-year-old woman, that's pretty whatever. Okay, I promise. I cut now. Cut up.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Wow Talks. I think you illustrate Wow Talks, and to create a wow life and to wow your world with who you are and what's possible beyond what you even know. So take that energy that you and the inspiration of these stories here. Thank you so much for who you are and how you ignite. She's my spirit animal. She can be yours too. Because to me, I go, don't ever let that voice that comes in, oh no, I'm getting old. Oh no. I'm like, really? Are we going to take that on? Or do we want to take on, hey, maybe when I'm 88, I'll jump out of a plane.
Why not?
Maybe I'll be teaching, which she was leading us in exercises earlier here in the studio. So, it's unstoppable what is possible. And Dr. Erica Miller is an incredible example of it, an incredible example of what we call a wow maker. So go out there and wow your world. Take the inspiration from here. And as she said so beautifully, if she can do it, you can do it.
And age is just a number. Look at me.
An age is just a number. Look at her. All right, go out there and wow.
Bye.
Yay.